Everybody? This is Phil Jones, Mike Jones. Have you guys know me personally and professionally? And this is the Extraordinary Men podcast coming to you guys live as always. And you guys know the greatest co-host on the face of the planet. And hold on, wait a minute. Even the co-host got a co-host. I ain't got to get too elaborate into it. Introduce yourself and introduce himself.
What is going on, y'all? Thank you. We are back with another classic episode of the Extraordinary Ben podcast. I am Midas. Make sure you put a king in front of that. Let's go. And baby Midas.
Mini Midas. Everything he touches turns to diaper.
Turns the diaper.
All right. So, from the title, I'm pretty sure that most of my people who actually can read are doing the reading, and they have already assessed to some degree most of my people who actually what we're talking about today. So, what are we discussing today? How to know if he's into you. Now, some men somewhere are going to say they letting out the secrets. Some men somewhere are going to feel away. Some men somewhere ain't going to care. But hopefully some woman somewhere is going to watch this and take heed to what's being said. They're going to grasp hold to what's being said, and they're going to make the proper decisions based off the level of intel that has been provided to them. So, Kingdom of Almightises, are you ready to give them everything that you got?
Let's go. Let's do this.
So, for those who don't know, men are simple. I'm talking about incredibly simple. Despite popular belief, despite contrary belief, we do not require a whole bunch. No matter how things are said in any space, whether it's the barbershop talk, whether it's the red pill space, no matter where you look at it, the reality of manhood is very simple. We don't require a whole bunch of anything. We require food, a little extra, respect, and with those things, we'll go out here and we'll do almost anything and everything on behalf of somebody that we care about. There was a video that went viral not too long ago that kind of ruffled a few feathers. And I thought that it was a really good piece, but I'm not going to play it, due to copyright reasons. But what I can say specifically is that it was a woman who was asking a panel, because the boyfriend or the man, could he possibly like her as the side chick more than he likes the main one? I don't know if anybody's seen this video, but if you have, then you know what I'm talking about. The panel let the cat out of the bag and let it be known. Yeah, of course he could like you more because you feel in that space to where the main girl doesn't. And you have comfortably fit yourself into a space to where you feel the void for where the main girl doesn't. So for where she gets on his nerves, you are the fill-in. You create some level of balance for him. So yeah, easy can like you more. It's just like I go to work and I come home and I see my Xbox. Would I prefer to play my Xbox than go to work? Of course not. But I'm not going to quit my job to play the Xbox full time.
Right.
What's your thoughts on the top on that subject?
Very much so. Same thought process. I can very well like the fact that uh you could be that extra piece of quiet, that extra piece of a peace of mind outside of the crib when I need to get away. When you know what I'm saying, we going through something and I just need a little stress relief. Um, I'm just in the mood for an extra plate. You made fajitas or something. I mean, I'm definitely on board with, yeah, I like you. You like you. You fill in this space and time that I need right now. You fit right in pocket as to what I need, mentally, emotionally, whatever I need right now at that moment. So yeah, on board with that.
So, with that being said, is it easy for, or do you believe? Obviously, you're not a woman. Do you believe it's easy for a woman to believe that her level of importance in a man's life under such circumstances is greater valued than what it actually is?
I think so because I think that they don't actually take the time to evaluate exactly where they stand or exactly what is their actual position in that man's life. Are they actually the main, or are they, a placeholder? They don't know where they at for real. So I
If they're
think that
getting attention, do you think they even care?
some, some, and I think the ones that don't really get attention like that, they care. The ones that can literally just walk outside and just go to the dollar store, and by the time they didn't got home, they didn't got hit on by 60 people. Yeah, they don't care.
I won't even say that because even that woman wants attention from a specific man.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
She wants attention from a specific man, and not a specific man in his value or his finances or his stature, but literally a specific man.
Hmm. Hmm.
I haven't met a single woman in my lifetime that there's not a specific man that she can recollect that has the keys to her heart that can open it up whenever he wants.
Mm.
It's a lot of men like that too. I know a lot of men that they will reminisce and talk about that one that got away or the one that, if they had opportunity to do it all over again. I don't know very many people who don't have that story.
That key one. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you look at it kind of from a, if I had a chance to do it all over again because of what level of happiness that moment brought to me at that time. Obviously, this person could be a completely different individual now, but there's always a euphoric aspect of the memory of this person that I can't shake.
Well, I think it's a lot of, what I'm saying, because we're much older now, a lot wiser, been through a lot more situations and understand more. I think that plays to a lot of having that type of reminiscing too. You know.
Well, yeah, you got to have to live through something to appreciate the latter.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times what actually happens that a lot of people don't realize happens is that we find ourselves in a situation to where we are misunderstood
Hmm.
a great deal of the time. When it comes down to being a man, and for the record, if anybody is watching this podcast today live, check in. Okay, where you from? You got questions, comments, concerns. You utterly disagree. You agree wholeheartedly. Check in. Anyway, so when you look at these things and you say to yourself, well, what exactly does this thing mean? What does it mean to me? What is it supposed to mean to me?
Hmm.
What does she mean to me?
Hmm.
Do you think there's ever a man who has not evaluated that when it comes down to a woman in his life?
Yes.
You think there are men who have not evaluated that?
Yes.
Do tell.
I say the men that haven't evaluated is because they've never actually been in a position to have to evaluate, and or was never even given any type of guidance to have to take the time to evaluate. You just hopping and hopping and hopping. The ones that do evaluate, I think the guys that do take the time to evaluate are the ones that's actually really trying to figure out. They first of all, those are the ones that do want a relationship, and they're trying to evaluate and try to figure out exactly, is she the one? Do she fit me? Is she in pocket with what I'm trying to do and accomplish and things of that nature? But the ones that don't, I think they just lack the experience of having the need to do that, or they're oblivious to the fact that they need to do that. They just happy that a woman is around.
I disagree, but I disagree
Mhm.
for a different reason because I believe that there's a conflation being made between an actual evaluation. Good evening, good evening.
What's going on, sir?
There's a conflation between a man of value and instincts of men. Men don't deal with women knee jerk. We know from evaluation, an initial evaluation on whether or not, because we're visual creatures. So by and large, because of the fact that we see things, we automatically have an assessment. We don't just, oh, woman talk. If we're attracted to her, we're going to talk to her. That's an evaluation. An initial evaluation, not a thorough evaluation. It's not a, I think that within the first 5 seconds of seeing this woman across the street that I want to marry her. Like, no, that's something that happens over time. I think that the initial concept of like the question I was asking is that we know certain things from assessing certain behaviors, certain things that we tend to notice. We know if we throw her in thought category or if she's potential dating category. We know certain things off rip just by watching and interacting. You see somebody that look good but they're loud and whatever, yeah, she goes into the hit category because I'm not putting up with that loudness. I can deal with it to hang out, to be cool, to smash a little bit, but off rip because your initial presentation is that you're loud and slightly obnoxious. I can look past that to smash you, but I can't look past that to engage you for anything further.
Well, I kind of disagree with that other statement because you kind of rolled into what I was going to say about, well, whether she's an attractive woman or not, a man going to talk to her, and for the simple reason that regardless if she's attractive or not, she still carries something that men want access to. You know what I'm saying? She still has something that a man won't. So we're going to talk to her regardless.
But is that
Now,
not an evaluation?
no,
How not?
because I can care less. Not me particularly, but I'm just saying a lot of men can care less what you look like. I'm only going based off the statement of she looks good, therefore I'm going to talk to you. What I'm saying is, in a lot of situations, a lot of men, not all, a lot of men can care less. I just want the box. That's it. That's not necessarily an evaluation. What I'm evaluating is, can I get it? That's the only evaluation that's taking place. But as far as anything else further, relationship, putting in different categories and all that, because you know what I'm saying, yeah, we do got our own levels of categories and stuff like that, but there's just some that's just, if I get it, I get it, I don't, I don't. I'm never ever gonna see the chick ever again in life. And that's just the way it rolls.
For the sake of pushing things forward, I'm just going to agree to disagree. But you literally just described an evaluation while negating that it's an evaluation.
What do you mean?
Because when you said that it's like one thing will come later on if I'm looking to see what her value is long term, but can
I
I
said
get it or not is an initial evaluation.
no, it's not. That's a goal. That's that's an achievement that I'm trying to obtain. I'm trying to unlock an Xbox achievement. That's it. That's all it is. It's not an evaluation.
All right. So
I don't know.
I was gonna go to the definition and everything. I'm not gonna do that to you today. I'm not gonna do that to you because I really want to get to the key points. But don't worry, I'll take you to school afterwards.
He said, okay, he asked him, what all are you evaluating?
From the initial sight of a woman, you're evaluating on whether you find her attractive or not. From the very first sight, and we see hundreds of women a day, depending on how much interaction that you're having, the very first initial evaluation is, she's cute. Or walk right past her, don't even notice her. If she don't hit our radar, it's not even a conscious thought to render judgment because that's over with. So somebody is attracted to Rasputia. That's right up his alley. Whereas I will not evaluate her at all. She doesn't get a 6, she doesn't get a 5 because she's well below the threshold that I think is even acceptable to rank. So I keep walking.
Correct.
So now you have a series of evaluations from the onset is, number one, do I even find you attractive? Then there's another evaluation of, is it worth me talking to you? So you observe certain aspects. There's somebody with her, something going on. What do I notice about her? How she dressed, how she present herself, and you categorize her immediately. And again, this is all within the first couple of minutes of observing a woman. It's just things that you notice because we're visual.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
So if I see her and she's covered up, but she looks nice, presentation looks well, she walk with confidence. What was going on? Oh, she got 3 kids walking behind her. Oh, maybe not. It's a constant evaluation on whether or not, just leading up to, will I even talk to her or not? Will I even make the approach? Right? We go over a series of thought processes just to get to a place to we make, like for instance, there's like you think about like our situations with the ones that we ended up with, we didn't talk to them the first time that we saw them. It was an evaluation over said period of time on whether or not you were going to even make the connection.
Yeah.
But you knew from day one that was like, okay, well, yeah, she could get it. You knew that from day one.
I mean, yeah, you're evaluating your first impression of the scenario in certain situations.
It's not certain situations. Is there an initial evaluation? That was the question that I asked.
And that's fine. And yeah, it was an initial evaluation in certain situations. I'm sticking to my story.
Hey,
I can care less. I can care less about the scenario. Is she going? There's no evaluation. Is she going? That's the evaluation. Is she going?
And that's an evaluation.
There's nothing else. There's no looks. There's no how she dress. There's no how she speak. There's no do she smoke or not smoke. You getting too deep into where you're conflating all of evaluations on trying to make this woman the one. That's what it sounds like. You're conflating it all too.
It's not. All I said was, do you make an initial evaluation? I didn't say, do you make the evaluation? The big evaluation. I said, do you make an initial evaluation on onset of seeing somebody that you may deem attractive?
And a lot of people, and some people, no. Like, why can't you accept that? No.
Okay. Again, I can't speak for some people. I can speak for what I know to be true, is the fact that by us being visual creatures, you're going to see something. You're not just going to, oh yeah, this will be. No, that's not how we operate.
No,
that's not how we operate.
That's silly. What I'm saying is 1,000%. 1,000%. We are visual creatures, and we are always and forever going to be attracted to something that is gorgeous. That goes without saying. We don't even need to talk about that part.
We're not talking about gorgeous. That wasn't the spectrum. Is, do we make an initial judgment based on what we see? Do we make an initial evaluation based on what it is that we see? I am afraid to know what boxes that y'all have jumped in that y'all have not seen before y'all touched it. That's a spooky thought. We turn the lights off and just go in, and what happens, happens.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what happens.
Oh, God.
You just floating. It don't matter. You just floating around trying to see what's going to say yes. That is not an evaluation. The evaluation is who's going to say yes. Who ready? That's the evaluation. And the evaluation goes no further than that. The next evaluation is you want to do it right here in front of everybody. You want to go in the bathroom. You want to go to the car. That's the next evaluation. That's it. Now, the other evaluation, that's getting deeper. With the evaluation that you're talking about is getting deeper.
No,
we're talking about both sides of the spectrum. No, I'm just bringing the other side of the spectrum.
What I said was so right here, right there. When I see you, am I attracted to you or not? That's all I said. That was not a deep thing at all. Like it couldn't be further from depth. I'm not even putting my toe in the shallow end. Like when I look at you, like, hold on, is this simple? Is this pledge? Is that simple? Is this pledge or is this the off button? That's what I'm talking about. It's that cut and dry. So you can make an initial opinion on what the visuals is, but a visual could change and become something you stop for at a second glance. That's my point. That's entirely my point right there. And it's a shame that it's the woman that saw it. Like, I make an initial, That's the initial first piece.
Okay.
So regardless of you will evaluate it, your scenario. Regardless, you will evaluate it, your scenario, Midas. I'm assuming that's the language barrier kicking in, but nonetheless, let's move on. We spent too much time now.
Yep.
All right. Despite the back and forth banter that me and my brother have often, because this is just who we are, men are ultimately simple. And when it comes down to what we want, it really doesn't come down to it really doesn't require a whole lot of convincing. One thing that we know more so than anything is, and women, I want you to pay attention to this. If there's anybody that's actually paying attention to a word that I'm saying, please pay attention to this one. A man knows what he knows. What does that mean? When he wants something, he goes for it. If he feels that something is out of his league, or he feels like he is ill-equipped for something, that is a reality check for him. That is a self-evaluation that he does on him when he sees, I guess you could say, a beautiful woman. If he sees a beautiful woman and he feels insecure in himself, that he doesn't feel established enough in himself to approach that beautiful woman, that is a self-reflection for him to say, why do I feel like that?
Yeah.
What is it about me? Is it my clothes? He immediately starts giving himself the self-check. My hair, we immediately do that once we see something. Like literally, we give ourselves a one over, and if we are completely confident in our situation, there's nothing that's going to stop us from approaching. Nothing whatsoever. When it comes down to any goal that a man has, if he truly wants it, he's not going to play with it because he's not going to allow another man to get what he wants. He's not going to let another man take his job. He's not going to let another man take his opportunities of any kind. He's not going to live with the regret of knowing that anything that he truly desired can slip out of his hand. Do you agree with that?
I 1000% agree with that for sure.
All right, that is on
the money. Yeah, that's on the money for sure.
I can tell anybody that regardless of somebody could give you advice or they could tell you something to give you their opinion about it. And the one thing about a man is that no matter what somebody tells him, he's going to pursue what he wants.
Yep.
And he's going to deal with the consequences. He has already evaluated the consequences of whatever it is that he's about to get himself into. Oh man, I wouldn't date that girl because she has kids or because she has this situation. He has already determined on whether or not he is willing to be a stepfather to those children. He has already determined if he deems that woman worth it for him to enter into that situation at a net negative and be a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Say, don't feel afraid to put all your eggs in the same basket. Just make sure you're taking care of them constantly. That's if you see value in the basket.
Yeah, you got to see value in the basket.
If I don't see value in the basket, or if I'm questioning the value of the basket, I would never do that. One of the things about relationships in general and how a man generally shows that he's interested in something, he asks questions. He inquires. He's going to pick away at things. He's going to want to know as much information about it. And he's going to want to be very well educated in what it is that he's learning. If he's truly into it, he does not knee jerk around because he wants to get it right the first time or as close to right as humanly possible. We don't go to car dealerships and just say, "Ooh, pretty, I want that one." Hey, let me take you for a test drive. Get under the hood. Hey, what's that cranking sound? Hey, I see there's a little crack on the side of the window. Hey, man, y'all can y'all repair that before I drive off with it? Or how much you willing to take off for the price, and I'll go ahead and take it and get it fixed myself.
Yeah.
If a man is truly interested in something, he's going to evaluate it, and he's going to evaluate the worth down to what he feels that it is worth, and he's going to pursue it at what he values it as. So if I sat back and I looked at somebody, so I'm gonna say something controversial. I don't care, whatever. At this stage in my life, if I was interested in marrying somebody, what I did initially years ago would not be the same thing I would do today. There would be a complete sit down, credit cards. What do you owe? What do I owe? Appreciate you, brother. Enjoy your day night. There will be a complete sit down. What do you owe? What do I owe? How long is it going to take us? Let's put a plan together because I want to make sure when we go into this thing, we go into this thing with a clean slate. You're going to sit down. You're going to evaluate everything. If you have too many liabilities, I'm going to question whether or not marrying you is the right decision. So when you see a man that is on the fence about something, there's a reason he is on the fence. There's a reason he is questioning something. If he can't give you a straight answer, there's a reason for it. And a lot of times men are very willing to articulate exactly the reason why. And a lot of the times, the women in our lives or the women that we are pursuing, one in out the other. It can't just be that simple. There's not enough money here. I got to do something else. Well, I want. Well, in order for me to do, I need. Again,
I wish that was an easily understood concept. I truly wish that was, because especially for a man that is trying to, do the best he can to make you happy and to provide and build and do all these things for you, and they telling you, listen, I know you want to go out on weekends, but I need you to watch, you know what I'm saying, for at least the next 4 weekends. I need to get out there and try to figure out how to go get it. You know what I'm saying? But here comes that, well, I want. No, that's ridiculous. And this, that, and the third. And You know what I'm saying? If you're going to be that individual that's going to keep the relationship stagnant and from moving forward because you're putting what you want over what has to happen and what needs to take place in order to move it forward, you know, I agree with you. We got to go ahead and start reevaluating some things.
You have to be able to sit back and look at a situation and really assess it based off of something other than how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been so many situations in my life that I can speak of personally to where I have made knee jerk decisions because I wanted to appease other people. And this isn't just in my house. And it's like, as a man, the worst thing that you can do is put yourself in a situation to where you feel powerless in a situation and you know in your heart that it's going to fail.
Mm.
But you want to give so bad that is like, you know what? As a man, I will make it work. And then when it crashes and burns, you know in your heart of heart, you want to look back and say, I told you. But you can't. Because as a man, you should have stood your ground.
Mm-hmm.
And you should have said no. And you should have risked upsetting those individuals because the greater good required you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You being a man in that situation required you to be a man in that situation. And a lot of us think that being a man is just providing. Sometimes being a man is taking away too. Just like we discipline our children, what do? We take things from them for the better good. Sometimes we have to remove situations and we have to reassess situations. We have to rearrange building blocks in order for people to get it. And it's not based on a negative situation. It's based off of a circumstance to where that's part of what we are.
Mm-hmm.
How effective would a king be if the king just gave his fortune away to anybody who asked for money? How effective would a bank be if everybody who goes in and asks for a loan just gets one? How profitable would a credit card company be if everybody could just skip payments? Oh, don't worry about it. Get back to it next month. Yeah, don't worry. We'll go ahead and eat this month for you. Don't worry, it's good. How successful would a business be? Say, hey, don't worry about payment, man. Just pay me on the next one. It's not feasible. Let's get to the comments. It says it's all about consistency. In addition, it's about a person's ambition and pure intentions. I like that one. See, love. First off, what's up, baby? Thank you for tuning in.
Appreciate you, man.
Intentions. Women, men, listen up. King Midas is finna tell you all about his list that he got of things that he want to chop down on y'all, and baby Midas is gonna be quiet long enough to allow him to do it.
So, yeah, I definitely came up with a list of like 17 things, and this is kind of more based. What's up, man? I'm sorry, y'all. Wifey is out with the family, and you know what I'm saying, I'm on dad duty, so just bear with me.
Hey, listen, we extraordinary men around here. This is part of what we do.
You know, so and the list that I put together was kind of more for ladies to try to, you know, get a grasp and understand how to know that he's into you. You know what I'm saying? There's little key signs and things that he's gonna do to show you that he's into you. And Mike, if you want to, you know, say kind of take notes on this to see if there's anything that you might want to speak on or disagree with and things of that nature, and we can have.
I want you to go through it because I just want to cross reference. I want you to
get through it. All right. So the first one I got is simply he's going to open up to you. Right? He's going to be vulnerable. He's going to make plans for the future with you. He wants to be better because of you. He's doing everything in his power to make you happy. He is willing to introduce you to his family and friends. He is willing to come out of his comfort zone around you. He's willing to compromise. He loves every part of you. He wants to stay connected even when you guys are apart. His words and actions match. He dreads the thought of losing you. He's more patient and understanding with you. You're the first person he wants to share his news with. He wants to meet your family and friends. Always admiration when he's speaking about you. He wants to make your dreams come true. And he simply just has a gut feeling about you. So those are my 17 things that I got.
First and foremost, drop a bomb for yourself if you don't mind, please. I almost shed a tear right there. I don't know if nobody saw it. It's still sitting right there. It's debating on whether they want to come out or not. You know what I'm saying? That was a very powerful list of things. And he's spot on with all of those things. A man that want to be with you don't keep you in the closet. A man that want to be with you want to celebrate you. A man that want to be with you is going to go through certain obstacles and hurdles just to ensure that you know where you stand in his life. He will make sacrifices for time, money, and other resources to make sure that you are a part of how he allocates his things. Things a man will never do. Things that a man will never do. You ready for this, Midas?
I'm ready.
A man will never curse your name in front of people that he wants to love and accept you. He may feel whatever it is that he feel about you, but he will never demonize your essence in front of anybody. A man who will talk crap about you and let you sit in the same room with the people that he has spoken negative about you, he is a punk in every sense of the word, and he don't deserve it.
You know what? I'm gonna give a shot to that guy. We're gonna headshot that guy.
Two more, man. Gotta put old Yellow out of his misery, man. What's up? What's up? Now I'm speaking from experience on this. I done had a bunch of times to where my mouth then got me in a boatload of trouble. You know what happens? There's two things that are the gateway to open up the door for another woman to slide into a situation. Take notes. Number one is that if he complain about you to a woman that is into him, he is giving her a reason to believe that there's an opportunity to slide in to fill the void.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, which is more powerful than the latter, he celebrates you publicly to everybody. And this is a gem to all men. You are more attractive by and large to women when you celebrate your woman. I don't know, did they hear that?
One more time.
One more time. You are more attractive to women when you celebrate your woman. Women love to know that men exist that celebrate them. And a lot of times women who are undervalued will give anything to get a glimpse of what it feels like to be under the wing of a winner. Because if you can celebrate your woman, you must be winning. There's happiness, there's joy. People who don't have happiness and joy, they don't celebrate. People who don't have happiness and joy, they find the negative in life and they don't search for the positive in life. They draw to everything that is controversial. You hear him talk about his plans. Oh, we're going to France this year. We're going down to Jamaica. We're going to go do this. Oh, show you pictures of this, that, the third. And every time that she see those pictures, she imagine her head on that body. Every time that she hear about that 401k, she imagine her head on that pillow that's going to reap the benefits of that life insurance policy, or that 401k, of whatever other investments, that car that you just bought her. She want to see herself drive. Even if her car is better, the fact that you bought it means more.
Yeah.
She could drive a Benz and you could just bought your woman a Honda. But because you bought her the Honda, it means more. Believe it or not, I don't care how strong and independent a woman say that she is, she do not want to struggle. I don't care what they tell you. I don't care what a woman tell you, and any woman can challenge me on this any day of the week. I will go open forum with them. If a woman had the option to get it out the mud for herself, or have a man who is going to go the extra mile to give it to her, by and large, statistically, women would prefer the man that's going to go the extra mile. They say they will. I mean, they say they won't. The only ones who will not appreciate that are the ones that are addicted to lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I was finna say that.
By and large, there are a lot of women, but it's not as many women as you would think that are addicted to lifestyle. There are a lot more women who have never experienced a quality man that are trying to make up for the lack of quality in men that they have experienced with lifestyle. I'll say that again. There are a lot of women who are compensating for the quality of man, or the lack of having experience of a quality man, with lifestyle. So she'll go, she'll get her bag, she'll do everything that she's doing. Subconsciously, it is to fill the void of not having that thing that we all strive for, and that's a solid companion to spend our life with. Tell them argue it. Tell them argue it. You can't argue it if you've never had a quality man before. It's easy to say, well, I can have a quality man, I can get it. Okay, well, show me where in your life you have experience doing both. You can't. Because all the women who are enjoying the fruits of a quality man are at home shutting up, not sitting online perpetrating.
Mm-hmm. Not having hot girl summers and girl trips.
Yeah, they're having family trips,
Mm-hmm.
group outings, date nights with my husband, my wife, your husband, your wife, and they having group couples trips.
Mm-hmm.
They chilling and making money and doing everything they're doing within their collective group of people. I would argue, and I'm going to say this outwardly, that if you gave people the option of something of quality, many of them would blow it the first time, but to have experienced it, they would chase it for the rest of their lives. Kind of like how we were talking about that one that got away concept.
Mm-hmm.
If you gave a lot of people the opportunity to say, my career or a quality man, the modern thing to say would be my career. But the reality would be that man. They might not realize it until after they ran him away because the world tells them that they can do both. But once they drop the ball, they'll at least know the difference and they can compare it adequately. So if and when they get that opportunity to come back around again, they'll do right by it. It's just like most of us, we all screwed up a good woman.
They're going to nurture it the way that they were supposed to have in the first place.
Mm-hmm. By and large, a lot of us as men, we screwed up good women. And what happened? We got another good woman. Sat down, shut up.
Yeah, we learned our lesson. I don't know about anybody else. I only got to touch fire once.
Hopefully, Junior ain't got to touch fire at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on the knowledge, information.
And he's sitting there looking like, "What's fire? Sounds interesting." he got that hope look. But no, women, I'm gonna also give you this piece here. We were having a group conversation last night, and in having that group conversation that we had, a couple of things came up. I don't know what the statistic is of how many women don't have a solid male representative when it comes down to dating somebody that has their best interest at heart, cousin, father figure, somebody around. But a lot of women get taken advantage of because they don't have men around that will be that are on their behalf. There are a lot of men that don't, because I'm a believer that men and women, they can't be friends. I used to think that it was possible. I don't think it's possible now, because you can tell me that, oh, well, yeah, we're just friends. That doesn't mean that just because you may not feel something for that person might not feel something for you. We have to get into this understanding. And again, this perspective, but I do think that there's a huge understanding of the fact that even in the most platonic situations, there has to be extreme boundaries. Because in any moment, somebody can feel a void that you have not felt in a while. Somebody can awaken an aspect of you that you have not had invigorated or had ignited in a while. And you can sit down and have a conversation or two, and before you know it, it's happened to me. Hell, I got in trouble for it. Because I started getting diarrhea at the mouth, talking about the ins, because this person made me feel so good opening up about myself that I almost jeopardized my situation because I couldn't talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that mattered to me, talk about music, talk about business, she wasn't interested, but she was. And she loved to hear everything that I had to say. She made me feel important. She made me feel respected. She made me feel valued. It happens. That's why I'm a firm believer that men and women relations have to be very well tamed, because at any moment that spark can fly, and before you know it, it's a flame.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised how quick it invigorates.
And then it's even worse when you're oblivious to the whole thing. This whole situation is unfolding, but because you don't see shorty like that, but your wife or main is feeling threatened, but you ain't paying attention, so yeah, that blaze can just start to get way out of control.
But
you don't even know.
And I was just gonna say it. The worst part about it is you will get accused of being willfully ignorant to the reality of the situation because they can smell it in the atmosphere, but you can't. Mm-hmm. Like, I really, truly don't believe it. But the fact that she is telling you that she has a problem with it and you are willing to defend it is all that she needs to know.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. That's a key. That's a key.
It's just like anytime that I've ever dated before, is somebody try to justify the need for their male friends. Oh, that's my brother. We like brother and sister. Like we've been around each other. Y'all ever slept with each other before? Silence. Crickets. Hey, y'all got this real weird energy about y'all. There was this one girl back in college that I was back in my earlier years of college. Let me be very specific about timeline. But me and her was kicking it. And her and the then president of the student government organization.
Drewski.
Yo, what's going on? What's
Drewski.
going on? Her and the then president of the student government. I just kind of caught this vibe that while I was standing next to him, there was just this weird energy that it didn't sit well with me. And when I asked, I said, "Hey, y'all ever kicked it before?" She say, "No. What make you think that?" I'm just like, because my spidey senses is tingling in y'all presence, and it just ain't feeling on the up and up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's my man, but you my lady. So I'm kind of like, I'm very strict about that old school rule that you don't smash the homies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you know that if that's the case, we can't be together. Oh no, it's not that at all. I'm not gonna go ask him. You know why? Because my belief is that as a solid dude, you was gonna pull me to the side and say, "Hey, my man, I that's your old lady." Yeah. We kicking it like, "Hey, I just need you to know that we did that thing before. And I don't necessarily know how you're gonna take that, but as my man, I feel obligated to let you know that. I have to remember that all men don't apply by that same code. So for me, it's like because you my woman, I hold you higher in regard because I'm with you every day. You live in the same house with me. You occupy the same space with me. We eat together. We kick it together. We do everything together. So I'm expecting you to be forthcoming. If you would lie to me about this, what else would you lie to me about?
And I want to be clear, not saying anything is just as bad as telling a lie.
You know, it's funny, right? Brittany actually is the reason why I came to the realization that I didn't know that there was a such thing called a lie by omission. I kid you not. I did not know that you could technically lie by not saying anything. And again, it could sound like cap all day long, but for real, I had no idea. I used to think that it's just like, "Hey man, don't even worry about that. What did you or didn't you? Man, look, it ain't even that big a deal. Don't even trip on it. It's not that type of situation. Well, did you or didn't you? Like, no, man, it's whatever you thinking it is, it ain't that. But you're not telling me what it is. But I'm telling you, stop worrying about it because you're trying to make it bigger than what it is. And in my mind, it's not that big of a deal. But if it's not that big of a deal, then just tell me what it is. No, because I don't need you tripping about something that ain't big. All right, so he playing that game with you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. What's up, Keita? What's going on, lady? Say no to Satan, guys.
Hey, bro, listen. I'm saying no to Satan.
The thing about saying no to Satan is you got to recognize when you in the presence of Satan. When you recognize it, then you're able to make better decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Man, look, all I can tell you is this, very specifically. If a woman wants to know if a man is on the up and up, make sure that you have a solid male figure around. Because the thing about a man who is not on the up and up is that he don't like being around other men. A man that's on the up and up, he comes to fit in the fold. Like when me and Rodman met, we met through his ex.
I'm pondering.
You said what?
I'm pondering.
Pondering what?
I'm pondering that statement.
All right. For smoke purposes or what?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
But no, it's like when, case in point, when me and Robin first met, I didn't know Robin first. I met him through his ex. We was in class together. So she was sick. She's like, hey, could you bring the work to the house? Just come on over to the crib. I'll pop up at the crib. It's him, his boys, they all sitting around. Everybody kind of talking about video games. Then we was talking about Street Fighter and stuff. He invited me into the conversation. He wouldn't talk about Street Fighter.
He brought the smoke.
Tell him he don't want to know me. I don't care if he is. You see that? Just say no, nephew. Nah, but the situation was like we sat down. He invited me in. We sat down. We talked, and it was just a natural inner flow. And it was just what it was. She in the room. She's sick. I didn't even see her, but I was there for like 2-3 hours just kicking it with the homies. So even yet and still, despite everything else, his and our relationship has surpassed the former because everything was on the up and up. So,
Nope.
hope there wasn't no animal down there.
No, they in the cage.
No, so that's how that thing played out for me. Is that when I really assess the situation, is that when men are placed in a situation to where they are introduced in a room of other men, they generally, if their intentions are pure and they're on the up and up, they fall in line. They fall into the fold. Even if we just not all buddy or something like that, but there's no negative energy because we know when something ain't right.
Yeah, you want to match the energy of the room. You want to recognize the room that you in, and you want to, you don't want to bring no type of threat level at all into the room. You don't want to do that.
But you also ain't trying to force it or pretend like it ain't something because again, what you feel on the inside is reflective of what you're gonna project on the outside. So what people are going to pick up from you is going to be the vibe that they catch from whatever it is that you're not saying. So if you have something for this young lady that's in here, and if you're a woman and it's like you bring her around your male friends or your guys that you trust that have always held a level of reverence with you, if that man is truly who he say he is, he's going to fall in line. But he's also going to withstand the test of time. Because some people are charmers. Say you just want to keep a level positive. Yeah, you absolutely. You don't want.
Absolutely.
You don't ever want to be in a situation to where when people look at you like, yo, I'm not feeling buddy. There's something strange about him. There's something weird about him. His energy is off. He seemed like, that's why if I'm upset about something, I'm not going to come and meet your people and I got attitude. I'm not about to come and do anything and I know that I'm not right within. Like, yo, I got to take a rain check. I'm going to come holler a little bit later or let me get myself right and then I'll come over. I might be a little later, but I got to get right. I had a bad day at work and it's like I know that might carry over to where you might have that uncle that likes to crack jokes. And even if them jokes ain't necessarily funny, it might be my day to catch one of them. And if I do, and he get offended, I didn't ruin my reputation before I even got a chance to develop one.
So you definitely, and I'm gonna give you these two things right here. These are two compromising positions that you never want to be in. The first one, what's up, man? The first one is you never want to put your friend in a position of where your friend is looked at as the goofy. Why you bring you hang with him? You hang with her? You thought that it was okay to bring him or her around us?
Real. Like, now I'm questioning you.
Yeah. And then the second compromising position is you never want to put yourself in a position to where you can't get out. You can't call for help. You can't get no help. You on your own. You never want to be in a situation like that. Absolutely you want to be cool. You want to be cool.
Because you would be surprised as to how many people. Like I tell people, I don't necessarily know, but I always have very negative vibes when a woman get with a man and she just isolate herself off, or when a man get with a woman and he's just no longer reachable.
Yeah.
There's one thing about falling back into your situation, but it's another thing whereas you get into these toxic situations where you are no longer yourself. So you keep yourself away from everybody else so that nobody can see the version of yourself because you hate the version of yourself that's putting up with it. And that's what a lot of things that's not being said about men and women. People think that it's just abuse on one side, but no. Sometimes you can be in a toxic relationship with a young woman to where she ain't right within, and you're giving all of your energy to try to rehab her and build her and try to restore her and like remind her how great she is, all the while she's tearing you down because the more nurturing that you're being, in her eyes, you are weak because the men that she is accustomed to take advantage. They harm her, they bring her pain. So her first opportunity to redistribute that pain is going to be on a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times you will find these situations where you are unable to really articulate how you feeling because as men, we also taught that we're supposed to suffer in silence. We don't speak. We don't talk a lot about the things that we endure. So there lies the situation where when it comes down to men, we don't speak a lot about what we're going through because we are worried about how we are perceived, how we are looked at.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing worse than somebody minimizing my struggle. Man, look, man, my job, I'm stressed out and stuff. Just get another job. What you complaining about it for?
Yeah.
Be glad you got a job. Be glad you making money. You making all that money and you complaining. There's nothing worse than me reaching out to somebody that I love, that I think that love me, and they minimize my situation. Like, are you mad because I make a decent salary? Or do you think that more money don't come with more stress? You know, it's just it's certain things to where it's like now you got me questioning who you are. So rather than me being put in a position to have to question who you are, I'd just rather fall back altogether and just not say nothing. It's a problem when we express ourselves. It is.
Yeah. So I want to speak on that. So yeah, it's definitely a problem when we express ourselves. Reason being, so in the animal kingdom, and I don't know if y'all know anything about bulls, but when a bull gets hurt, the bull tries its best to not let the other bulls around him see the scar or see that he's hurt, because then the other bulls are going to attack him. You never want to be seen as vulnerable. You never want to be seen as weak, because you turn into dog food at that point. And that's why we don't want to express ourselves. Or at least that's part of it. Why did Eve have to eat the apple? All right, so I gotta ask a question, you know what I'm saying, for you, Andrew. Because you talking about I'm a zebra from the waist down and all that, and I'm really trying not to acknowledge it. But are you really saying something meaningful, or are you trolling? I gotta ask.
But so on other news, there's I look at things from this perspective, right? Just taking into consideration some real simple to wrap our mind around circumstances. He said a little, love y'all. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. When it comes down to women in the adverse, it's a little bit different because of the fact that as men, we are expected to protect ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So our vulnerability is literally our vulnerability. But with a woman, if she does not have the protection around her, it puts her at an extreme disadvantage. See, even little man agrees.
Yeah.
You have to have, like, whether people realize it or not, it is extremely essential that a woman has the right people around her. And by right people around her, that she has men, solid men around her.
Yeah. Men that don't have no vested interest in her box, but are really looking out for her well being.
And this is one of the reasons why fathers and other wives are so important, uncles, male members of family, grandfathers, whatever have you. The reason why these things are so important is solely because of the fact that those were the men who traditionally had no vested interest in your body.
Mhm.
That everything that they did was for your survival, not for their own. It was for your come up and not their own. So, due to that, you find yourself in these situations to where you really don't necessarily have people around who really represent your best interest, ultimately putting you in a position where you put your trust into men to try to assist you. And then either they try to hit on you or they sour potentially good situations for you solely because they really want you, or a bunch of other weird stuff that takes place along with those things. And all I can say with that is it's frustrating to see the levels of stories that women tell. And when I see all the women that tell, like, Midas, how many times have you heard the story about women who I thought he was this type of guy? And then all of a sudden he turned out that male friend has been a friend of yours for 15 years and all of a sudden confesses that he loves you and he can't see the world without you.
All these many years. Hmm.
Like, that man been sitting around here capping for all these years for nothing.
And, and we play the long game too. We when it comes to a woman that we really honestly truly in love with, we'll sit around for decades. That's just the way we build.
And that's one thing I would absolutely tell a man, tell a woman, is that don't think for a second that a man won't wait 10 years for his opportunity. Because you
Hmm.
giving him, when you sit down and you pour out to him all your issues, all of your faults, all of the guys, you are giving him an unlimited supply of the best intel ever. He has the greatest level of intel because you trust him. So you tell him your vulnerability, you tell him your secrets, you tell him everything that he needs to know
So that
about
he can
how
play his cards right.
to play his cards.
He know how to talk to you. He know how to serenade you. He know what movie you like. He know what food you like. So he gonna try to get you to your man. Let's meet over here at such and such spot. He know exactly how you like your steak.
He just waiting on that right moment of vulnerability so that he can just swoop in and he can capture the moment.
Hmm. Yep.
And
You right, C Love. Yep.
say the respect level is different.
Yep.
100%.
Hmm.
100%. It's like at some point in time you have to deal with, and again, it's like we talking about reality situations. The entire thing too, and Midas, you can speak a little bit on this. When it comes down to the things that women often overlook, when it comes down to whether a man truly has her best intentions at heart or not, what comes to your mind immediately as like the number one thing that sticks out?
In terms of the friend zone guy,
Just if you think about if you think about the man that you used to be, and you also think about the man that you used to know,
Mm-hmm.
What is the number one tactic that sticks out?
So you put me on spot. I don't know.
Stop snitching, stop lying. I get it, right? Well, I got a teenage daughter, so I really ain't got no choice but to let the cat out of the bag. The number one thing that he's going to do is pick at your vulnerabilities. I started off the podcast talking about evaluations. Bringing it full circle is that a man is a hunter naturally. So when he's looking to hunt, do you think that the lion is going to spare the opportunity to find the deer with the hurt leg?
Absolutely not. No, I was gonna say something along the lines of he always gonna be that shoulder for you.
He is going to find an angle of entry.
Mhm.
You'll notice that he'll come up to you and he'll comment on your face or something like that. Say, hey, so pretty. Why you so frowned up? Everything okay? He's gonna find a reason to talk to you, and it's like as soon as he get that smile out of you, I love the internet, man. I love the internet. I do. As soon as he find that angle, as soon as he get that smile out you, oh yeah, it's go time from now. And that's really what it is. That the angle is, how do I find a way to get that smile out you? As soon as I can get that smile out you, boom, the rest of it is easy street.
Yeah, I'm in that. Yeah,
That's it.
in there.
Say people don't value nothing. Everything is about money and what people can benefit from someone. That's not necessarily true. It's just that, see, love, I will challenge you to say there's a sector of the world that we don't even engage in because we large city people, right?
Yeah.
Chicago. I mean, I'm in Orlando. It's not exactly a large city, but it's still a large city compared. We represent a certain mindset of people, whereas everywhere in the world don't operate off those same principles. That's not to say that the heartland, Tulsa, Oklahoma, or Overland Park, Kansas. That's not to say that
Mhm.
they don't have. That's not to say that they don't have their own situations, but they don't have these. Everything is not a modern woman versus man type of this thought process, that thought process. It really is the fact that we're accounting for a very loud minority and a lot of people who apply to a specific ideology. You see, as somebody who, let's start a red pill out there, right? With red pill thought process, it's about men becoming super successful, understanding that the super successful are the ones who get the best choices. They get the best options. They drive the best cars. They live the best lives. They get access to the best women because what they have, the status that they've accomplished for themselves, unlocks the doors to other opportunities. It's almost like the concept of money brings money.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to spend money with the guy that looks like the bum, but like you see a lawyer walk in the courtroom, you can tell what level he's on just by looking at his shoes. What kind of suit.
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
what is that? That's an Armani suit. What are those? What kind of loafers are those? Those ain't Stacy Adams. What are those?
Right.
Oh, those are genuine leather, straight from Italy.
Good.
Leather.
They pointed toe. Whoa.
Yeah, you can't even see the stitch in them. Oh yeah, he's serious. That guy right there to be played with. That's. As soon as he walked in the door, you could see the respect that the judge gave him, and what he didn't give that guy over there. They golf together. Their kids go to private school together. They are in the pocket with each other. They probably attended law school together or had the same professor or same professional circle at some point in time. So the reality is that some people have better access to things because they strive to be in that pocket. They don't just strive for mediocrity. So when we start talking about media, start talking about red pills, start talking about anything of that nature, you have to understand that media is nothing more than a reflection of a life that is possible, but is not necessarily reflective of a reality because only a small percentage of people, like I've said on this podcast before, I make well over what the average man does and I still live in an apartment. But there are people who make half of what I bring in that have houses and real estate property for that they make residual income on real estate. Timing played a factor. Choices, priorities played a factor. It's not always about money versus positioning.
Mm-hmm.
When they came out of high school, what was their thing? Was it go to college, get a 4-year degree, and rack up a bunch of student loan debt, or was it go get me a real estate license and go take the 9-month program and get in with Caldwell Banker and learn how to sell cribs and then take my residuals and then or take my commissions and then put that as a down payment to my own properties. Some people had a different focus.
Yeah.
They made different decisions. So it's not always about media's portrayal. There's always these different pockets that's associated because you will see somebody, oh, he made $50,000 a year. Well, no, he claimed $50,000 a year. He really made $650,000, but because $600,000 went into his multiple properties across the United States, he only paid taxes on $50,000 of that money. So you really have to be mindful that it's way deeper than what people think.
I've been rubbing off.
Come on, man. Anyway, we gonna do that. You know I'll play. They feel like, well done. Well done.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
But in essence, it's like the whole thing with this is when it comes down to the subject at hand, if a woman want to know what a man is into, if she wants to know if that man is actually into her, simple. He's going to pursue you. He doesn't take days off. What you may consider thirsty is interest.
Mm-hmm.
You have to ask yourself that why is a man that is, because if the man that you wanted was pursuing you at the same rate as the man that you don't want, you wouldn't call him thirsty.
Yeah.
If the man that you wanted on the other side of your phone, and this is gonna be my closeout statement. I'm gonna let you have the floor.
Yep.
Women, y'all gotta stop lying. Y'all will lay out an entire spectrum of the type of guy that y'all want, and every guy who fit that criteria will come in y'all path.
I know, man.
Instead of telling men what type of man that y'all want, just be honest and say that these are the qualities that I want out of the man that I want, and you're not him. Stop letting men chase you that you don't want. Stop playing with him. And I understand that y'all are saying, oh, well, it's not like that all the time. By far, there are more men chasing women than there are women chasing men. Women are being thrown opportunities. Men only get the opportunities that women give them.
Yeah.
So it's not a situation where it's just a whole bunch of men that's out here just playing the field. There's only a small section of the population of men that actually have the ability to ebb and flow between women. It's not that many of them. So when it comes down to it, when you see a man that is pursuing you, if you don't want him, just tell him. Just tell him. And if he still wants to pursue you after the fact, that's his own problem. But tell him. Just break it down to him. You have all the qualities that I want. Don't go out. Don't accept his dinner. Don't go out to dinner with him. Don't accept his gifts. Don't take those flowers. Don't sit there and have 2-hour-long pillow talk conversations with him. Because all that stuff where you're thinking, oh, he's just being a friend, he's being nice, you're lying. You know he's interested in you. Stop playing with him. Because all these things that you're doing is giving him a glimmer of hope to believe that one day he's going to crack and penetrate that shell, and you're going to see how great of a guy he is. And you don't care. Stop lying to him. That's my way.
The only little bit of sauce that I'm going to add on the ribs is a little bit slightly different. With the whole like the man pursuing you and things of that nature. The best, I ain't gonna say it's the best advice, but I would say I think the easiest way for you to be able to have a nice, healthy, and flourishing relationship is to be with somebody that is interested in you. Talk to people that you see and know for a fact are interested in you, that you know will have your best interests and will handle you with care.
I couldn't agree more. Like who like you.
Like who like you.
Entertain you. Give opportunities to the people that want opportunities. Get over yourself.
Yes.
And allow yourself to be courted. That's our time, guys. That's our time.
The audience, I appreciate y'all. Y'all get a bomb. I appreciate y'all coming in and rocking with us, man. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm stepping on Jones' toes. My bad.
Hey, man, we all good. But do you like my fit today?
What?
But do you like my fit?
I've been at the door like this, like, man, I'm waiting on my package.
But again, do you like my Junior? Do you like my fit today? See that smile that says everything. Extraordinary men. This brand is created. This logo, Kadeem Bourne of One Star Productions. Extraordinary men behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
We already got people copping merch as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something that y'all want to do, reach out, show y'all support. Also, y'all haven't shown y'all support in the easiest way that there is. Clearly, Andrew Smith has been showing his support. Y'all know what to do. That link over there will get you to the official YouTube channel. We are 343 subscribers deep into our goal of getting to our first 1,000, and we are steadily rolling along. So please become part of the movement. Help us grow this channel. Help us put ourselves in position to be able to continue to grow this content. Like, share, subscribe, the whole 9 yards. Click the bell.
Mm-hmm.
This is on you.
Man, make sure y'all also hit us up in the Facebook group, the Extraordinary Men Facebook group. That is where you can connect with us directly. Also, the Extraordinary group is the only place outside of YouTube where you can get the Money Mondays with Midas. It is a YouTube and Extraordinary Men Facebook group exclusive. You can only get it there. So you have to tap in order for you to be able to start getting your investment portfolios built and everything. The whole purpose of Money Mondays with Midas is I want to show you guys that that really don't fully understand the concept of investing, how to get started, how much does it take. I show you the apps that I use. I use my actual real portfolio. I pull it up on screen so you can see my real money that I have in a portfolio, and I show you guys that you can invest with literally just $1. All right, so I'm helping, trying to get us comfortable and acclimated to getting involved in investing and starting to build our portfolio and try to, get you comfortable to where you feel comfortable to start investing bigger, bigger pockets. So I see y'all there on Monday. Actually, I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow morning. But on Monday, I'll see you on Monday for Money Mondays with Midas.
Y'all heard what he said, and y'all know who I am. Phil Jones, Mike Jones, however you guys know me professionally or personally, and I am the host of the Extraordinary Men podcast. And you guys know the greatest co-host and the greatest co-host, Junior. Thank you so much for bringing Junior to the podcast. His time was very well valued, and hopefully he became just that much more extraordinary by him being added to the official flow of what it is that we do. Him and
Yes,
all of
sir.
his light-skinnedness. You guys know who the greatest co-host on the face of the planet is. Y'all got to remember that they had Howard Stern, they had Robin. He's greater than that.
Mm.
They had Batman, they had Robin. He's greater than that. Sometimes I feel like I ain't even got to show up because he's so good. I don't even need to be here.
Man,
Him and Junior could have did this. Junior could have been
I
sitting in
feel
my
the
spot
same.
right now. Him and his remote control could have been on it. But for all intents and purposes, he said, nah, son, you got to be here. You got to come get it on. So he's here. The one, the only. State your name.
What is going on? I am Midas. Make sure you put a king in front of that. Let's go. Alongside of me, Mini Midas.
Let's go. All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. As always, y'all time is very much well appreciated. Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow at 10 o'clock Central Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard AM. We're going to be going live, and we're going to have another hot and juicy one just for y'all. Peace.